Hello there, welcome to the program. Out with the old, in with the new. Everyone here at Art Television wishes you a very happy new year. And let's get started with the program. I am Pamudha Katugampala. We have in our headlines for today. Central Bank announced that foreign reserves have increased as expected. Sri Lanka commences the digitalization of television broadcasting. Production of the medicines locally saves over $15 million last year. News in detail. The governor to the central bank, Ajit Cabral, announced that Sri Lanka's foreign reserves had reached $3.1 billion as they pledged earlier. Governor Cabral made this announcement this Wednesday, keeping a note on his personal Twitter account, and the central bank later issued a statement to the media mentioning over the balance of foreign reserves. Official foreign reserves had dropped to $1,587 million in November amid continued liquidity injections being made to sterilize interventions. Central Bank Governor Ajit Cabral has mentioned that in keeping with their previous announcements, the official reserve position of the central bank has today reached approximately $3.1 billion and will remain around that level by the end of 2021 as well. Central bank data recently showed that Sri Lanka's imports are around $1.6 billion a month. The expansion of the central bank's domestic assets, which intensified in February 2020, had led to reserves falling from around $7.5 billion in January 2020. Sri Lanka has lost $5.5 billion of reserves after printing 1.5 trillion rupees over the past 2 years, while an expansion of reserve money and inflation has absorbed the rest. Meanwhile, in a separate statement, the central bank said more money would have come if not for downgrades. The statement said that the Central Bank of Sri Lanka wishes to inform the general public that the expected foreign currency inflows are forthcoming, and the receipt of recent inflows, the official reserves possession has now reached around $3.1 billion and is expected to remain at such a level by the end of 2021 as well. It further added that in addition, as articulated in the 6-month roadmap for ensuring macroeconomic and financial system stability, foreign currency inflows in connection with several other facilities that are under negotiation at present are expected to be realized in the early part of January 2022. Meanwhile, a massive digitalization project to transform Sri Lankan television into the world's most advanced technology was launched in Colombo this week. Accordingly, Sri Lanka's first digital terrestrial television broadcast commenced just 24 hours before, and the project is planned to be completed within 2 years. The digital television broadcasting project was launched with the intention of shifting from Sri Lanka's current outdated analog television broadcasting technology to the world's most advanced technology. Officials announced that the new project will bring Sri Lankan TV broadcasters, viewers and the general public as a whole significant privileges and benefits. The project will be launched under special financial assistance provided by the government of Japan. Currently, the local broadcasting system forces each channel to use individual frequency bands. However, the new digitalization program will exponentially increase the capacity of the Sri Lankan frequency spectrum. The capacity of a single frequency may increase by 8 times or even 800%. Minister of Mass Media and Information Dallas Alahaperuma was the chief guest at the launch of the digitalization project, and former mass media ministers Kelly Rabukwella and Anurupriyadashana Yapa and the heads of all digital media institutes also graced the event. Ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka, Mizukusha Hideaki, who also participated as a chief guest, addressed the gathering.
Japan has continued to cooperate with Sri Lanka in various fields, including infrastructure development, to meet the needs of Sri Lankans. This DTTV project is one such important milestone of our various cooperation. Last but not least, we are at the edge of celebrating the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between our two nations next year. So I am pleased to witness launching of this very important project fully toward DTTV at this timing. And I indeed hope that this project will be another iconic symbol of Sri Lanka and Japan friendship.
First, let me thank the great nation of Japan, the land of the rising sun, and its people for their generosity in helping us with this TV broadcast digitalization project. Japan is no stranger when it comes to helping our island nation in broadcasting field. 4 years ago, Japan did us an enormous favor by donating a state-of-the-art TV broadcasting facility for SLRC, probably the most advanced in South Asia at that time. Again, I would like to express my gratitude to our diplomatic friend of 7 decades, Japan, for its generosity. Thank you very much.
Director of the Digital Terrestrial Television Broadcasting Project Prasanga Rajapaksa said that the benefits of the television channels digitalization project will reach all 3 categories: general public, the government as well as the broadcasters. DTTB Project Director Rajapaksa also added that the era of rotating TV antennae in many directions will be ended with this new technology, which is to be completed by 2025.
Our project is to convert this analog transmission platform into digital so that all the entire value-driven chain is digital, and the TV set at home has the beauty of absorbing that digital picture, that is the production from the studio, as it is that will go to the household. So we will operate this as a single network. In analog broadcasting, individual broadcasters has individual broadcasting networks. When it converts to digital, it will have single operator having all channels given on that farm. So the benefit that we get is all stakeholders in the country: the people, the government, and the broadcasters. The people no more needs to rotate the antenna to capture the TV channel, because all TV channels to your home comes from only one direction. Now, unlike analog cases, one station here, one station there, another station here. So every time you need to rotate the antenna to capture. So the outcome, only few channels will be watched at home. So with this one, all channels coming from one direction, one antenna, all free-to-air TV channels can be captured very easily. Since that is digital, there is 1 and 0. We know digital means 1 and 0. That means either there is a full picture or no picture. So we are not doing this project to go for the 0. That means we are at 1. 1 is full picture quality we can experience at our home over this project.
Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. UNP leader MP Ranil Wickremesinghe says that amidst a looming food shortage and depleted forex reserves, the public can no longer bear the rising cost of living. Given that the harvest of this year had dropped by 60% compared to a year earlier, in a special statement to the media, he has predicted that a food shortage is likely to occur around the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the country's forex crisis could not be resolved by obtaining loans and goods on credits. He requests that the government conclude negotiations with India soon in order to obtain fuel and food on credit. He cautioned against public resentment which could adversely impact the government and parliament, whilst calling for the prevention of such a situation to develop the country. The business climate has deteriorated, driving up unemployment, standing farmers and pressuring the middle class, explained the former Prime Minister, stressing the need for urgent solutions to overcome the situation. Cautioning that the situation will spin out of control if delays in obtaining provisions continue, he claims that reaching out to IMF for aid or presenting an acceptable alternative is the government's responsibility. The former Prime Minister further explained that the economies of other countries have shown resilience through pandemic challenges and that COVID-19 cannot be blamed for the current economic status. He also insisted that similar strategies be executed in Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, main opposition SJPMP and its treasurer Dr. Harsh De Silva said that questionable measures would further aggravate on the country's foreign exchange and reserve crisis. Responding to the promising CBSL reserves announcement by the central bank governor this Wednesday, Dr. De Silva said that new development appeared to be following the drawdown of a 10 billion yuan swap facility agreed with the People's Bank of China last March. The SJP parliamentarian said that a country should be able to use reserves for any balance of payments activity, including debt servicing, without any encumbrances. MP De Silva states that, as it has been suggested, the Chinese swap can only be used to import Chinese goods and the CBSL must clarify the current reserve's ability to service debt. He also said that the central bank had resorted to various measures, including renewing the swap facility with Bangladesh, immediate conversation of 25% of foreign inflows by banks and curbs on imports as a result of the foreign exchange shortage. The opposition parliamentarian points out that the dollar is priced at 240 rupees on the black market due to the foreign exchange shortage and that banks not opening LCs have left goods stuck in ports. He also maintains that if reserves could reach $3.1 billion so quickly, the foreign currency shortage should not continue and that the import and export trade can return to normal. He alleges that if this does not happen, the CBSL reserve statement is a fraud perpetrated on the people of Sri Lanka and added that these band-aid solutions would worsen the forex crisis in the new year. Despite all the allegations from the opposition, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa remained confident on achieving his vision for Sri Lanka in the next 3 years despite pandemic-induced setbacks. Speaking to a team of newspaper editors, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that in focus were the priorities of reduced imports via a strong local economy, a rapid shift to green energy and sustainable agriculture.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa maintains that despite challenges, progress has been made in these areas and that he is determined to realize his vision. Citing record tourist arrivals for December, the President points to economic revival as tourism and foreign reserves were better with COVID situation under control. The President explained that the forex crisis was a combination of existing debt servicing practices being disrupted by the pandemic. Tourism, a main source of forex for the nation, dried up during the pandemic, along with a decline in remittances, causing the suspension of unnecessary imports and the promotion of local produce to save foreign reserves. This has also established a favorable space for local industries to grow, generating record exports. The President explained his push for organic farming had been misunderstood by officials executing the plan and that he intends to realize his vision for agriculture with better education and support from all stakeholders. A shift to embrace renewable energy and shed all imports and coal power as per global commitment was also expressed by the President. The President stressed that due to the pandemic's impact on society, the media as a key stakeholder must play a positive role towards the nation's development.
The Bangladesh Bank has extended validity of the $200 million credit facility it extended to Sri Lanka by 3 months after the expiry of its first 3-month tenure. Bangladesh media reported that the loan facility has been renewed following a request from Sri Lanka.
The Dhaka-based New Age newspaper reported that the Bangladesh Bank has extended validity of the $200 million credit facility it extended to Sri Lanka by 3 months after the expiry of its first 3-month tenure. The newspaper also reported that the loan facility has been renewed following a request from the officials in Sri Lanka. The forex-rich Bangladesh extended the credit facility amounting to $200 million under a currency swap deal with Sri Lanka to be delivered in 3 tranches. Accordingly, the first tranche of $50 million was delivered on August 19, the second $100 million on August 30th, and the final $50 million on the 21st of September. As per the agreement, Bangladesh would receive 2% plus London Interbank offered rate as interest on the credit amount. If the installment principal remains unpaid even after 6 months, the applicable interest would be 2.5%, the newspaper New Age reported. The currency swap initiative was taken after Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's visit to Bangladesh to join the celebrations of the Golden Jubilee of Bangladesh's independence and received the BB's approval in May. Sri Lanka also received another $787 million from the International Monetary Fund's special drawing rights allocation to boost its reserves in September. While Sri Lanka's forex reserves plummeted, Bangladesh reserves stood at $46.3 billion after hitting a record high of $48 billion from around $33 billion 1.5 years ago, according to Bangladesh media.
We'll be back with more news after this short break. The government announces that it has already taken tangible measures to reduce the import cost for the medicines. Secretary to the State Ministry of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, specialist Dr. Saman Ratnayaka says that the government has saved over $15 million during the year 2021.
දෙදස් විස්සනකට අවෂධ වර්ග සාමාන්‍යෙන් 88ක් ප්‍රමාණ තමයි නිෂ්පාදනය කරන්න පුළුවන්. සෞභාග්‍ය දැක්මේ ප්‍රතිපත්ති මාලාව අනුව අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා 2025 වෙනකොට 80%ක්වත් මේ රටේ නිෂ්පාදනය කරන්න හැකියාව ලබා ගන්න. 2020 වෙනකොට පෞද්ගලික කර්මාන්තශාලා තිබුණේ 15කටත් වැඩි අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක්. දැන් අපි ඒක තවත් 7ක් මේ කාලය තුලදී ඖෂධ නිෂ්පාදනය සඳහා කටයුතු කරලා තියෙනවා. සේලයින් ලංකාවට ගේන්නේ නැහැ පිටරටින්. ඇමොක්සිලින් රටට ගේන එක අපි නවත්තන්න සැලසුම් කරලා තිබෙනවා ලබන අවුරුද්දේ. අපි ඉන්සුලින් නිෂ්පාදනය කරන්න දැන් මේ වුණට කටයුතු කරලා තිබෙනවා. ඊට අමතරව තමයි අපි තවත් ඖෂධ වර්ග 200ක් මේ රටේ නිෂ්පාදනයට හවුල් කරගන්න. මේ අවුරුද්ද තුල විතරක් ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් මිලියන 15කට ආසන්න ප්‍රමාණයක් අපිට ඉදිරි කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා.
Country's rubber product export sector of 2021 has achieved $1 billion income, and the Export Development Board intends to increase it to $3 billion by 2025. The official said that the EDB expects the proposed industrial zone for rubber-based manufacturing firms in Horana to soon become a reality. The Export Development Board has been implementing export-oriented programs over the previous year to increase income from rubber-based products by ensuring that they gain a competitive edge through support for certification, fact-funding, capacity building and technological advancement. The EDB has also implemented a number of pilot projects to increase the productivity of rubber plantations in few districts. Sri Lanka occupies a prominent place among rubber-producing countries in the world, and it is renowned for producing top-quality rubber products. Currently, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, India and African countries are recognized as the major rubber-producing countries to have achieved significant growth in rubber production. In 2020, Sri Lanka has earned $30 million by exporting raw rubber, and its production was 78,206 metric tons. The industry also generated $786 million from rubber-based products, out of which $425 million was earned through tire-related products. Sri Lanka is also a world leader in the production of crepe rubber. It also holds a near 30% share of the global solid tire market. More than 10 internationally renowned companies manufacture and export products under international brand names. Rubber glove exports generated an income of $250 million last year due to the COVID-driven spike in demand for rubber gloves produced in Sri Lanka. There are more than 100 rubber and rubber-based export companies in Sri Lanka, and about 50,000 workers are employed in these firms. The rubber industry provides livelihoods for about 300,000 people via direct and indirect jobs. Well, that marks the end of the program. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.